is might not make perfect, but it does make you very good.
Yeah. So Mark has a big mountain to climb here with Dylan Garvey, because he's looking at the angle. Dylan, 1 foot to the floor. Lovely initiation, nice and wide. Small bit of separation as it come down the hill, but Mark's starting to reel him in. Dylan pushing hard, getting all the way out to cliff 4. Lovely transition back around, but Mark's still with him for his second hairpin, Mike. He's not letting him get away. Dylan needs to put the foot down now and gain that extra proximity, and he does. The chase the lead.
It most definitely is. As they leave the line, Mark Chapman puts the hammer down. Look how close Dylan Garvey is to the back of Mark Chapman's car. Look at the proximity Dylan Garvey has now as they come down into the first hairpin. A nice wide line from Chapman. Dylan Garvey's matching it absolutely perfectly as they switch through into the second hairpin. And Dylan Garvey's nudging Mark Chapman.
Yeah, boy, that's the Dylan Garvey.
It's going to come out looking a completely different car as they leave the line. Dylan Garvey to lead out. Stu Adsley now. Big flick from Dylan Garvey.
Massive separation.
Doesn't really have the pace to keep up with Dylan Garvey. Now he tries to make it up with Dylan Garvey. Kind of track a little bit. Stu Adsley definitely trying to gain some proximity, but doesn't seem to be able to get right
what
on
a
the door.
snappy transition from Dylan to absolutely put foot to floor to get that car out. Both cars dropping the wheel onto the concrete. The judges will factor that in. It's quick. So both cars leave the line. We've Stu to lead, Dylan to chase. Big flick from Stu Adsley, but look at Dylan Garvey throwing it in on the door. Absolutely stuck with Stu Adsley, not letting that S15 get away with him. Nobody has pushed Stu Adsley around like this. This is a phenomenal drive from Dylan Garvey. What a drive, one transition left, boom, through the smoke. Brilliant driving from these two up-and-coming stars of drifting. Mike Walton, what did you think of that? I'm excited, Mike. I really am excited.
And there we go. Dylan Garvey leading out Ames Fiskelis.
What happened there?
But Dylan
miss a
cut
gear
out, but here we go. We're going anyway. Fiskelis stayed behind and is staying with Dylan Garvey now as they come down. Vasquez tries to make a dive on the side of Dylan Garvey's door. Nice transition from both drivers. Vasquez is right with Dylan Garvey now as they come over the last bit and across the line. Bit of a weird start there.
Dylan's eager.
Very eager.
He's in gear and revving there for a minute nearly before they go off. But here we go. It's Armis to lead. It's Dylan to chase. Dylan is tucked right in behind him. Armis with a lovely initiation. But look at Dylan Garvey. He is right with him. Armis is filling Teeside with smoke, but Dylan is not letting him get away as they come down the hill now and into the outside. Armis very wide. He takes out half the tires, cones, everything, but stays going. And Dylan stays on his door. Teeside makes some noise. What driving from both these warriors. The signal from the tower is Dylan Garvey to lead. It's Armis and Skellis to chase. Let's hopefully get the perfect battle that we want. Dylan is away this time and he is flying, but Armis is stuck with him. Look at the initiation from Dylan. He's foot to floor, but Armis is not letting him get away. Dylan, oh, big straight in front of Skellis as Dylan's coming down towards grip 3. I'm not 100% sure what happened there, Mike. Dylan is on that perfect lead line now. Armis is back in it. He is right with him there coming through the last hairpin. Pushing Dylan Garvey. That 180SX is getting his first few marks and it's from Armis.
There we go. We've got a decision. So they are going to move on to the second part of this battle. And it is Armis for Skellis to lead out Dylan Garvey. No. Dylan Garvey's car is packed in.
A big puff of smoke there out the back of Dylan's car and Armis is running away with this. They have fought that car mechanically all weekend, Mike, and for him to let him down there is such a heartbreak. It really is. Armis doing exactly what he needs to do, sitting on the qualifying line, just putting in a good run. But what's going to happen here, Matt Frost? And look, I apologise in advance, but I guarantee this is going to be some battle. Dylan Garvey to lead, Lee McFadden to chase. What an initiation from Dylan! But Lee is right with him as Dylan pushes his hands again. A small bit of line to get close coming into clip 4. It works out lovely for him though. Look how close they are together coming through that bottom section. But the pace of Dylan Garvey is insane. Lee McFadden is tucking up lovely onto the floor as they come over the line. I'm doing the backflip. Lee knows he's going to have to be fast, and Dylan knows he's going to have to be close, and anything can happen here, Mac. So as we see both cars coming down the straight, it's lovely initiation from Tudor. But look at Dylan Garvey. He is right with Lee McFadden. Lee McFadden's not right in the lead position, but I don't think he can shake off Dylan Garvey. Both cars are so close together in the bottom section, Mac. This is unbelievable driving from the two Irish drivers. Absolutely credit to them. Scotland makes some noise for Dylan. As we see what looks like Fionn Roach's front wheels on the front of Dylan Garvey's car. And Steve McConnell is right with him on initiation. Lovely initiation from Dylan. But look at Stephen. He is stuck to the back of the 180SX. Dylan is doing what he's been doing all day. That perfect line, doing the best he can to get away from Steve McConnell. But Stephen is right with him there, Mac.
Yeah, phenomenal chase driving from Stephen McConnell, not giving him an inch.
Here we go. It's Steve McConnell to lead and Dylan Garvey to chase. Banging through the gears, tearing down the straight. Lovely initiation from both guys. Dylan is right with Stephen there, but Stephen has given that perfect line, giving him every opportunity to get in close. As we see Dylan come into the Teeside zone. Mac, look at that! That's the Dylan Garvey I've been telling you about. Absolutely phenomenal chase driving. Steve McConnell on that perfect lead line. But what a chase from Dylan Garvey. The way that we all know that. We still on my back. Okay, it's Dylan to leave. It's Cowley to chase. Both cars leave the line. Banging through the gears, heading for the one. Lovely initiation for Dylan. Small bit of separation. Cowley is railing them in though as they come by clip 3. Down the hill into the first Teeside zone. Lovely lead line by Dylan, but look at this from Cowley. He's right with him, Mac. He's not letting him get away.
And Cowley dives back on the transition, finding the side at 59 North S13 and pushing him out wide and back to the wall as they cross the line.
As we see them leave the line, it's Cowley to lead. Dylan's ahead of him coming out of the chicane. He's right with him coming up the straight, not letting Cowley get away, man. He is glued to the side of that S14. Both cars are singing going down the hill. What an absolute chase run from Dylan Garvey. Massive dive down the bottom as he keeps them from avoiding contact.
And then 5 transitions back again. Dylan is pushing so hard, just a slight adjustment there in the chase position, but he
gives a signal. This is it. It's the first half of our final at round 2 of the British Drift Championship. Dylan Garvey the lead, Tomas Kiley the chase. Dylan throwing on massive angle, but look at Kiley. He is stuck down the hill, giving it absolutely everything. Dylan Garvey on that ideal line, but he cannot shake Kiley. Kiley is stuck to the side of that 59° north 180SX. Look at the max come over the line. That's what we talked about. Get up. Okay, here we go. It's Kiley to lead in, Garvey to chase. Dylan's getting a little bit of a jump. He's up right beside Kiley, but Kiley's after putting a bit of a gap in initiation. Dylan has to kind of cut the track to get inside him, but he gets stuck in Kiley's car. Both cars nearly touching as they come into the Teeside zone. Not as much proximity as Kiley had to Garvey, but what a lead run. But oh, Kiley drops some wheels just as they come out towards the ball.
those guys were pushing 100.
It's going to be an epic evening. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, Josh Moore's got a lot of work to do behind Dylan Garvey, but let's see what he can do. It's a huge entry from Dylan Garvey. Josh Moore just getting left a little bit. Needs to make a dive now as they come through into the first hairpin. He tries to make a dive, over rotates and hits them.
It's all right.
Hits the tyres. He's not completely in the tyres. Gets back going again. Dylan Garvey on a fantastic lead line. Loads of power, loads of speed, and just drives away. Unfortunately, Josh Moore not having an answer. Look, Dylan Garvey.
Josh Moore knew he had a challenge. We get it. Cole gets tells the drivers they are on fight. Second half, this top 16 battle. Josh to lead, Dylan to chase. Josh big flick in. Look at Dylan giving him a small room. He might know he's an advantage, but he can't give him too much. See Josh starting to come into the D-cell zone, big angle. Dylan starting to reel him in here now. Trying to get on the door of that E36 BMW. Lovely transition from both guys. Luckily not to take the front off that 180SX. Now Dylan is tucked in, nice beside him, coming through the second last clip. As they start to push up their bank, look at Garvey taking the door off that car, Mike. What a run from both guys.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Dylan Garvey now leading in. The Lithuanian lunatic Ruben Paskelis. Very fast entry from Dylan Garvey, but look how Runas now makes a dive into the first hairpin, almost on the freedom door. Oh, a little bit of a correction there. I'm not 100% sure what happened. I think he hit maybe the tires ever so slightly. Okay, Dylan Garvey now driving away Runas Vasquez up the hill. Oh, Vasquez, just a couple of over-rotations. And there we go, Dylan Garvey in a chase position. Armas Vasquez in the lead.
So it's Armas leading Dylan the chase. Both cars coming flying on the straight, looking for Vasquez. But Dylan right there with him. Absolutely glued to the side on 830. Armas showing a massive angle. Wide. But pulling, bringing Dylan off. Both cars staying on the track, staying in the fight. Let's come back in for a snappy transition. How did Dylan not lose the front of the car? Vasquez trying to get back on the quarterfinal line now. As Dylan is pushing him over the finish line. What an absolute monstrous battle from both guys.
Yeah, unbelievable. To be able to separate them this time. Here we go. Dylan Garvey leads out Armas Vasquez into. Look at the entry from Dylan Garvey. Vasquez left napping a little bit, has to cut the track massively, puts on loads of lock, makes a dive, but uses loads and loads of that, the lock on that BMW to try and get back on, makes a huge dive off the side of Dylan Garvey's car as they come through the last clip and round the last corner. He is through to the rear quarter of Dylan Garvey's car.
That was
Vasquez now leads out Dylan Garvey.
Two cars leave the line. It's Armas coming down. What can Dylan do in the chase position? He's tucked in right beside him. Vasquez showing it in back. But look at Dylan. He is right there with him as they come into the Teeside zone now. Absolute lovely line from Armas, but Dylan is right with him. Can Vasquez shake him off in the last hairpin? Armas throwing it out wide. Dylan is tucked in nicely to the side of that E30, pushing him as they go up the hill, around the bank, through the last clip, and over the finish line. Absolute massive round of applause for Armas Vasquez.
Dylan Garvey leading out Josh Payne as they come into the first corner. Big flick from Dylan. Josh not having the pace to keep up with him, needs to make a huge dive now. Dylan on a fantastic lead line. Josh does make a dive, but don't know whether it's quite enough. Needs to make another dive through the smoke. Oh, desperately scrambling at the side of Dylan Garvey's car as they come around the last corner. So much pace in Dylan Garvey's car. Josh Payne, what? Just
Such a nice guy. But anyways, enough of Colgan. Two guys leave the line. Josh to lead, Dylan the chase. Coming down. Josh is throwing absolutely everything into that first corner. Dylan is right there with him though. Just playing beside. Lovely transition from both guys. Ah, Mike, look at this into the Teeside zone. How did it not come together? Josh doing absolutely anything he can to try and pull a gap with Garvey, but Garvey is not taking an inch.
Look at
he is sitting there right beside him. Absolute brilliant line from Josh Payne, but Dylan Garvey was all over him there. And here we go, Mike. This is it, the final. Round 3, Dylan the lead, Tomas the chase. What a dive in from both drivers as Dylan is flat, but Kylie is right with him there. Dylan's starting to drop one wheel now to come into the D-cell zone, but Kylie's tucked in right beside him, nearly touching the 180SX coming around that corner. Absolutely phenomenal transition from both drivers there as they push through the second last clip, around the corner, up there, and over the line, Mike Walton. Wow!
Absolutely. I'm going to get the go-ahead from Marshal Tomas Kylie leading out Dylan Garvey as they fire into the first corner. Dylan Garvey right on the tail of Tomas Kylie as they make a huge dive into the first hairpin. Dylan Garvey is right on the door of Tomas Kylie. Tomas Kylie's on a beautiful lead line. Look at that transition from Dylan Garvey. He really takes the yes, boss. Yes, boys. Tomas Kylie over the line.
Do you know what? You can say it now. Go on, say it. Okay, so Colgate gives the signal. Both cars leave the line. It's Dylan to lead, Stephen to chase as they come up. Big flick from Dylan, but look at Stephen McConnelly is right there with him, stuck to the back of that 59 degree north 180SX as they come around now to clip 3, lining up for Mangiali. Dylan's on a lovely lead line, but Stephen McConnell's making a huge dive behind him. Oh, he just went off track. Dylan just lights up them Zestino tyres, brings it over the line, and Steve McConnell just pushing a little bit too hard, I think, Mike. Yeah, just giving the signal. Here we go. Steve the lead, Dylan the chase. Big flick from Steve McConnell. Well, look at Dylan Garvey, took it right in there behind him. Steve McConnell now on a lovely lead line as Dylan makes a huge dive into the second corner, nearly making contact as they come into Mangiali. Stephen is on a perfect qualifying line, Mike, but look at Dylan Garvey. He is stuck right there, just showing what he can do, nearly touching that PS13, coming round the last corner. Wow, absolute masterclass the chase position by Dylan.
Oh, okay. Right, here we go. Dylan Garvey in the lead position.
Massive entry! How did he hold that?
That was phenomenal, ladies and gentlemen, as Craig McLeod does a fantastic job to keep behind Dylan Garvey. Wild driving from the Irishman as a Scotsman sticks it onto the rear quarter of Dylan Garvey's car. They transition through a little bit of a gap, but look at the angle. Dylan Garvey opening up the door for Craig McLeod to go inside Dylan Garvey's car, but he just can't manage it as the gap widens over the line. Gets ready to leave the line. Dylan Garvey will be right on his door as they come firing down into the first corner. Nice line from Craig McLeod, but Dylan Garvey is millimeters off of the rear quarter of Craig McLeod as they come down into Mangi Alley. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. A huge dive from Dylan Garvey. He got that car way before Craig McLeod. My shout is so loud in my ear, but look at Dylan Garvey. That transition was unbelievable. He is nudging Craig McLeod around the second part of the track. Already full of smoke, but off they go. Dylan Garvey now leading in. Stu Adsley, massive flick from Dylan Garvey. Stu Adsley's right with Dylan Garvey right around the first corner. They are millimeters away from each other, just as we thought. As they come through the track, Stu Adsley making a huge dive onto his side, and Dylan Garvey's car keeps a bit of a distance, but dives once again.
Look at this.
Look at this dive from Stu Adsley as they come around the last corner. He is almost nudging Dylan Garvey around the last corner.
Stu blows the corner away, everything. Okay, Colgan gives a signal. Both cars leave the line. It's Stu to lead, Dylan to chase. We are expecting fireworks, Mike, and it's starting right now. Look at that initiation from Stu Adsley. He is throwing it in on the perfect line, but Dylan Garvey's there, right beside him as they come around the start of Mangi Alley. Dylan is not letting him get away. How did he not make contact in that transition? Stu Adsley giving a perfect lead line. Dylan Garvey is stuck there, right with him, not letting Stu Adsley get away. This is an absolute drifting masterclass. You can go all around the world and you will not see battles like that. Huge round of applause to both guys.
Well, away they go then. Dylan Garvey to lead out Jack Mawhinney as they come flying through into the first corner. A little bit of a gap now. Jack Mawhinney not quite having the pace of Dylan Garvey as Dylan Garvey drives away, tries to make a dive as they come through the top of Mangi Alley. A little bit of a gap in between the two drivers. He makes a dive now as they come through into first. That transition though from Jack Mawhinney as he claws it back towards the second part of this lap, just getting a little bit wide there, giving Dylan Garvey the opportunity to drive away from and over the line.
Credit where credit's due, Jack threw everything at
We get the go-ahead for the final run of the day. Jack Mawhinney now leading out Dylan Garvey. Huge flick from Jack Mawhinney. Dylan Garvey and giving him a little bit of room to maneuver, cuts the track to gain some proximity, manages to gain that proximity as they come through the top of Mangi Alley. Jack Mawhinney on a beautiful lead line. Dylan Garvey taking full advantage of that. Gets a huge dive onto the side of Jack Mawhinney's car as they come through the final corner. Dylan Garvey nudging Jack Mawhinney now as they come off the left brake, pushing Jack Mawhinney over the line.
Absolute whopper.